Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Surge T, and in this video I'll be taking a look, I always say that, I'll be talking about Friday Night Smackdown for June 7, 2024. This, of course, like I said, it's Friday Night Smackdown, and they give us a recap of the AJ Styles fake retirement speech. Remember that? It reminded me so much of that. The oversized shirt, the loud color, right? Remember Mark Henry, I think, wore a pink jacket, right? And then he wants to shake John Cena's hand, right? And when Cena came in or give a hug, he picks him up and gives him the world's strongest slam. And that was probably one of the best versions of Mark Henry that led to the Hall of Pain thing that he did, going on a rampage, destroying everybody. I honestly think that he should have been the WWE champion. He was the World Heavyweight Champion, I believe, twice. But he deserved to be the WWE champion. He deserved to beat Cena. You know how Cena is, Super Cena, man. He doesn't put a lot of people over. And they showed that, and that was actually, it was very impressive. It was a very, very well done by him. But like I said, the thing about that is he's going to get a shot at Clash of the Castle. We'll talk about that later. But then what? Cody's not going to drop the title. Cody's not going to have a short reign like this. I mean, he won it at WrestleMania, so how long has he been holding it now? About a couple months? I honestly think that should have been suspended indefinitely, by Aldis. And then AJ goes away. And then AJ comes back right before SummerSlam and picks up where he left off. And then SummerSlam is when they have their match. And then at least he'll have a good run, decent run, almost a 6-month run about. But I think that they're going to keep that title on him for a long time because look who he took the title off of. It should be well worth it, right? He's going to give him that championship, and he's going to at least give it a year, at least. After Roman Reigns had how long he held that title, right? 3.5 years. If Cody ain't going to get even a quarter of that, what's the point of giving him the championship? You got to have a long run. And we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good match. The last one was good. But that puts, AJ Styles in a position where he's just going to be another opponent fed to Cody. He shouldn't be treated like that. He deserves better than that. Then, well, let's go to what's up next. And up next is, to open up SmackDown is the anointing of Tanga Loa into the Bloodline. Now, Heyman speaks with a very shaky tone. I noticed that. And, he doesn't want to have anything to do with this Bloodline. And, of course, the "We Want Roman" chants are heard loudly in the arena. Now, Tama Tonga, this is Heyman talking, will now be known as Tama Tonga. Now be known as Tama Tonga, the right-hand man, pretty much picking up where Jey Uso left off. Jey Uso was the right-hand man before. Now, not so much. And then the "We Want Roman" chants ring out again. As the infamous Tanga Loa, that's his name now, a fully fledged member of the Bloodline, is what makes this Bloodline complete. And then Solo actually told Heyman that he should thank, Tama and Tonga for saving him from KO. I'm like, man, these two are so intimidating, and I really feel for Paul. If nobody feels for Paul, I don't know if you have a pulse, man. As he's really, really just suffering while Roman's away. And then Tama is like telling Heyman that They could have left him to be killed by KO. I'm like, damn. Like, that's like not even mincing words. It says, like, we could have left you there to be torn apart by the lions. By the, what do I call it? By the wild beasts and stuff like that, if you will, right? Leaving them out there to be torn apart. But they didn't. And all I'm thinking is, where is Roman? It's like, when is he coming back to put these men in their place? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, right? We don't know that Roman is not going to be siding with them. He might, but I don't think so. This is the opening that they have to bring Roman back, and he's going to be such a big face. I could see him leading the Usos, having Paul Heyman on their side. I'm honestly thinking that The Rock could easily be their wise man. The Solo's Bloodline. Bloodline Civil War is coming up. We had one before, but this one's going to make that one probably pale into comparison. And that's going to be a tough task, because that one was pretty good. And then KO's music hits, and he comes out, but by himself. And the man, he was by himself. It's like, well, KO is a prize fighter and always wants a fight. And he is overwhelmed by the numbers game. And to his rescue, the Street Profits come out, and they even the odds, and they run the Bloodline out of the ring. And man, after the break, Solo lets Heyman know that it will be him versus Tama Tonga in the locker room if he doesn't get a 6-man tag match made for the main event. I was thinking, didn't this happen like last week? I'm like, man, we saw this last week. But it was the Profits versus the Tongans. I like to call them the Tongans. So, it wasn't a repeat. And at least it wasn't that. You know how it was when McMahon was in charge. You always had 2 1-on-1, right? And then their partners come out and they get involved. So 2-on-2, and then some other people come out, and it's a 3-on-3 every damn week. But hasn't been like that lately. But yes, we've had 6-man tags, and we've had tag team matches and stuff like that. But it doesn't follow the same line that it used to with McMahon in charge. And now, moving on, we see the dynamic duo Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, who will face off with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They both, Indy and Candice, complained to Aldis. And we know that Indy was set to face, it was Jade. And then because they complained, well, what did that get them? That complaining? Oh, it's a rematch with the champs. And we hear Indy go, hey, that's not what we were looking for. That's not what we wanted. Candice is saying that thing too. And then this match, as the match is set to start, man, we see the unholy union of Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. I forgot their tag team name. That's their tag team name, the Unholy Union. When you see them in those vignettes, and they're conjuring up all kinds of wicked spells and witchcraft and all that stuff, and like this every week after week, in and out, week in, week out, and then they were gone. Not even on NXT. And they're out there, and then we see they were like standing right in front of the announce desk, and then we see the former number 1 contenders, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks, walking down the rampway toward the ring. And in the end, of course, the tag champs pick up the victory, and that finisher they have is fire. I love that finisher, like a wheelbarrow. It's like a DDT from Bianca. She pushes the opponent up into a wheelbarrow, and then Jade just slams her opponent down in a suplex type thing. And they get the victory. And then, like I said, that finisher was on fire. Well, speaking of fire, Alba Fire leads an attack post-match that includes her partner Isla Dawn. And then Shayna and Zoe get into it. That's the price of being hunted. Or being the hunted. And then each team hold a tag team title belt. Pretty much laying their stake. They want another shot or a shot. And the champs, they get their payback. A KOD by Bianca. I believe it was to Isla Dawn. And then Alba Fire gets jaded by Jade Cargill. And the champs stand tall. I mean, you honestly think that they were going to be out, down and out, and laid out? And then that's how the segment was going to end? Remember, they're the dynamic duo. They're the, what do you call it, Storm and who could Bianca be, right? Who's a great Mystique? I don't know. That's only how I call it. That's the only Marvel, the female Marvel I'm thinking about at this moment, But so they're kicking ass, and it's like, the thing about it though is that I like the dynamic between these three teams. If you can make more, yes, you heard right. My bug zapper got another victim. Good. Boy, you guys be biting the hell out of me last night when I was sleeping. Good. Anyway, excuse me. But like I was saying, get some more ladies together. Get some more teams. Take somebody that from NXT. Build this team, this division up. Make them a not logic, but a legit division. Like I said, I like what's going on between these 6 ladies, man. It's like these 3 teams. It's great. It's like interesting. There's no like, oh God, another makeshift teams. Oh, these 2 are gonna end up, they're friends at first, then they're gonna end up breaking up, and then former friends now going, fighting each other. Why does WWE? That was McMahon's regimes. That was their, MO. They put people together only to break them up later so that you can have a makeshift, easy feud. Like an easy bake oven. Those of you guys who had that, it's like that. Easy bake oven, just all simple. Just put all the ingredients in there. It's simple and it cooks easily. Like that's it. They just make put a recipe together. That's their recipe. Let's put 2 people together, a makeshift team, and then later on they'll break up. And that's what do you call it? That right there is a ready-made feud. Lazy. That's lazy booking. That's bad writing. Bad creative, Really? How about you let these teams stay together? Where's Kaden Carter and Katana Chance? Where they are. Where was, what's her name? Natalia, who's been partnered with so many people. And they don't even keep her with a teammate. Her and we call it Tamina were a decent team. Became tag team champions. Got all that backing. The audience, the universe loving them. Nah, just another. At least they didn't make them feud. That would have been the logical next step, right? But anyway, let's move on with this. That was a good match, a good segment. And we'll see what happens to that later. There's an announcement regarding those 6 women later on, so I'll get into that later on. But backstage, we see Cody. And Cody is seething backstage. And Aldis doesn't want a fight backstage between Cody and Styles. But Cody is not backing down. I don't blame him. See, this is the thing I'm talking about. This is a great way to write this segment in this developing story between Cody and Styles. You know how it was, like Cody? I was expecting them to go out there smiling, shaking hands and kissing babies, and then talking about how much I respect AJ Styles and and then it's like, this guy pretty much almost ended your career. He did a Styles clash off of the steps onto the arena floor, but he didn't do that. You're gonna see it as I go through my video here. Talking about SmackDown, you're going to see the development, and it was very, very good. It's something that should happen. He shouldn't be kissing babies and shaking hands and being like he's a politician. If someone does that to you, you're not going to want to be all happy and stuff. Right? Yeah. He came out to the ring later on. He didn't shake nobody's hand. He didn't, give one of his belts to somebody and autograph something. He was serious. He was all business. That's how it's supposed to be. Don't smile when you go out there. Ronda Rousey used to do that too. She got beat down the week before, and then she comes out there, she's smiling like nothing happened last week, you know? That's not how it goes. That's not how it should go. Now, up next is DIY's Johnny Gargano. He goes one-on-one with the other half of the tag team champs, Grayson Waller. And news broke during the proceedings here, and the Bloodline will get the Profits and KO in a 6-man tag team match in the main event. So Paul Heyman can breathe easily. He doesn't have to face Tama Tonga backstage. As Solo promised him, he said, if you don't get this match done and set and everything, and you're going to have to go against Tama Tonga. You have to go against the new right-hand man, if you will. And then backstage, Sarah Shriver. I haven't seen her in a long time. Good to see her. Is talking to Apollo Crews. And then Apollo Crews gets his ass handed to him by the Legado. More of that, please. I've never liked Legado more. Who is Apollo Crews? I know who he is, but I'm like, why is he there? It's all about being shown or at least featured more, not less. And then when you send somebody out there, who is this guy? I know him, but who is he? Who is he in the grand scheme of things when it comes to WWE and them moving forward and proceeding to Clash at the Castle? Right? Down the road is going to be SummerSlam. We got Bash in Berlin coming up too. They talked about Money in the Bank. That's coming up, I believe, after, Clash at the Castle. What does Apollo Crews have to do with this? Show him more. Like I said, I've never ever said that he ain't talented in the ring. That motherfucker can go. Strong for his size. He's a powerhouse. Very athletic. So what is it? And then, he had a match with Legado's Angel. That's someone else who I'm saying like, oh, who is he? Who's Angel? I know who he is, but I say who because what have they done? Yes, we've seen him in matches more than damn Apollo Crews, but still. What is a Legado? What is their next feud? What is their next storyline that makes them and keeps them, relevant? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking much. That's all I'm asking, And then LA Knight, he's looking for Logan Paul. And Knight, he's off playing Tetris. And Knight wants to play Tetris with Logan Paul. And you know how those pieces fit so just right, when you're playing Tetris? Well, he wants to use his foot as a Tetris piece so that it can perfectly fit right up Logan Paul's ass. I said, I like that. I like that bit of writing. Or maybe he came up with that himself. I wouldn't put that past LA Knight coming up with a gem like that. But then Carmelo Hayes comes in, and if it was in another person's hand, you would get so annoyed with him. But he's not annoying. He is like, I love how he gets, he's trying to get under LA Knight's, skin. He's trying to find his in. He's trying to find his way to be in the conversation, right? And then in here, he's talking smack to LA Knight. But then all this makes it official that LA Knight, now LA Knight, he couldn't play Tetris and stick his foot up Logan Paul's ass. Well, he's going to play a little Tetris with Hayes in a match tonight. And then Knight is looking to fit his foot, a Tetris piece, up Hayes' ass, just like, wants to fit it up his ass like Tetris fits. Those pieces fit so perfectly, right? But now on to the match. Gargano and Waller. And then before break, we saw Gargano on the outside. And he delivered the sliced bread number 2. And it looked like it hurt him just as much as it hurt Waller. That was a very, very good move. You can see Gargano kind of land sideways. He didn't land like on his back doing that. I mean, so it's almost like he hurt himself. It looked, and so you wonder is it going to affect him during the match? And then inside the ring, he gets charged by Waller, right? Waller's jumps on him, and then he's able to Gargano. He what do you call it? He hits a modified destroyer. It looked really good. I mean, I don't know if that was just done on the fly, because it looked like it was done that way. But you know, these guys are very, very good. They're of course they're professionals, so they know how to pull a move out like that. But it looked like it was just something that he was reacting, you know, like to the situation. Okay, I gotta get myself out of this, and he able to hit that modified destroyer. You know, like what the fuck? That was goddamn, you know. But then Waller, just out of nowhere, you know, the momentum was on Gargano's side, and then Waller is able to end up delivering a flipping blockbuster, and then he picks up the victory like that. So this right here evens up the odds, you know, evens things up, and perhaps the rubber match can be for the tag team titles. You know, that's the thought. Why not? Why not have that be the third match? I like how this is booked, because then now you get a victory for each side, and then the next one. Why not? Because each team has a victory, albeit singles matches. But you know, that's something that, you know, because like, you know, the DIY can go, yeah, we get a title match because I pinned, you know, Gargano pinned, I mean not Gargano, but what do you call it? Tommaso pinned Austin Theory last week, and then they go, hey, you know what? We get a title shot. We should get one because we pinned one of you guys, you know. But then they can say this week, hey, no, Waller pinned you, Gargano. And then, you know, you can have all this go, you know what? Let's do this. Since each of you guys got a victory, how about the third match? The rubber match will be for the tag team titles. Because at least it was earned. You know, they just weren't given a shot, you know what I mean? So, you know. But that was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I think these two teams really do gel together, and they've been bringing out some good, you know, stuff out of each other. You know, like not only did they can give it, but then they can also take it too. And I like to see these guys in more matches, maybe even a tag team title. I mean, a tag team match, just a regular tag team match, to see what happens out of that. And maybe Gargano and Ciampa could win that, and then they can definitely get a shot. You know, but yeah, we'll see. Now, backstage, and security is employed by Aldis, and you know, Styles will be arriving soon, and because he wants that security there to surround Cody, you know, he doesn't want anything getting out of hand. But Cody is livid, and then AJ arrives. This is a little bit later. He arrives, but it's kept back, you know. Cody is, you know, and then they say, all right, you know, pretty much saying, fuck this. He heads to the ring. It's like no pomp and circumstance, just all business. Like I said earlier, didn't shake hands, kiss babies. He didn't sign autographs or give a belt. He goes into the ring. He didn't even look at anybody. He was looking straight ahead, determination in his eyes. And he calls out AJ Styles and tells him to come to the ring. Now, security gets in between Styles and Rhodes as you see AJ and the OC, you know, the good brothers there, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And AJ says, man, he doesn't care what Cody wants. It's irrelevant to him. Because, you know, what's relevant to him, of course, is what he wants. And that is the WWE Championship at Clash at the Castle. And Cody, well, 100%. You got it. He gives it to him. And he wants to make Styles say what he should have said last week. And that is, say, I quit. I say Styles put his career on the line. Not only will he quit in that match, but he will quit WWE. And no, where does AJ go from here? You tell me, where does he come from here? Go from here. It's going to be a great match, another good one, right? But where are they going to go from here? I can't tell you. I don't know. Well, I don't know where. He's done everything he can, everything he needed to do, you know. But where's he gonna go from here? I mean, will he stay and try to win Royal Rumble or win the Money in the Bank? You know, just add to his legacy, add to his resume, add to the Hall of Fame career that he's definitely gonna have. Like, he will be inducted to the Hall of Fame sooner rather than later, right? So what else does he need to do? Aside from just not having, there's not no need for having world titles anymore. But, you know, like I said, adding those accolades, things that he has not accomplished yet in this company. He can do that. I don't know how many accolades he needs, right? I mean, we know that with Sheamus, he only needs that one, and that is the Intercontinental title. What about the other superstars that are here? Have they, you know, Orton's still looking for King of the Ring. That's the only thing he's not had that accolade. You know, I mean, he's won everything he possibly can. But let's see where they're going to go with him. You know, let's see, right? But then all this, you know, he gives his thumbs up. And it's official. Well, maybe not yet. I mean, he does have to talk to the WWE officials. But then, of course, we see a brawl breakout, and this looks like a banger of a match. Like I said, this is a good match, and this may be the one that steals the show in Scotland. And this thing I have to add, you see there, Tony Khan, WWE went to a break, you know, and then they come back with the official announcement and graphic of the I Quit match. They didn't have it pop up during the damn segment. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about me, man. Oh, this guy complains about AEW all the time. AEW has been sucking lately. I mean, granted, I like this past Dynamite, but that's the thing I'm talking about. They're in the middle, right, of somebody just, you know, I'm talking about AEW, comes out and makes a random, unannounced challenge for a championship or whatever, right? And that thing is not even done, and then there's the graphic. If it was a unannounced thing, you know, these guys weren't prepared to have a graphic up. But like I said, I get it that it's like that because they want to, you know, use that to move the story online, right? Because of course it is scripted. Of course we know that. So it was prepared like that. But don't make it to where it looks like you guys pulled something out of a magic hat. It should be natural. It should flow like you know, that announcement was made, and then 5 minutes from now, maybe after the next match, and then the decision comes. Because yes, wrestling is scripted, it's predetermined, but you should at least have some realm of reality to move the story along. It's like nobody is that quick on the damn thing. No one has like the ability to, like, in a second make up a damn graphic that officially says the match is going to happen when you couldn't possibly know that the person was going to make that announcement or challenge somebody. Here, everybody anticipated that this was going to be a title match, you know. And at least like I said, at least let it breathe. That's what I'm saying too. At least WWE let it breathe. Go to a commercial break, and then they come back, and there's the damn official. It's official. There's the graphic, the announcement, the match, an I Quit match. It makes a lot of damn sense. Do it that way. I'm just saying. If you don't agree, I don't know what to tell you. I make sense. I use common sense a lot. That's common sense. You know, you don't just announce it right away. That's the problem with AEW. They don't let something breathe. You already have the damn graphic up, prepared, when you weren't anticipating, you know, an impromptu challenge for a championship at the next pay-per-view. Like, it's like this. You know, I want to challenge you for the championship. And then here's Excalibur. Look, it's official. Just like 5 seconds later, it's official. Look, There it is for Double or Nothing, the World Heavyweight Championship. How the hell did you get that out that quick? That's what I'm saying. You know, this isn't a case where we suspend our disbelief. This isn't a fantasy movie. This isn't something where it's like impossible things happen. Oh, of course that does happen in wrestling, but most of the time, it's not fantasy world. At least recent years, back in the day, there used to be all these fanciful type characters, and all these seemingly come out of freaking what do you call it, like Lord of the Rings and shit like that, right? Back in the 80s, right, 90s, right? It's kind of based more in reality now. Once in a while, we do see some fanciful characters, these fantasy type, monsters and beasts and stuff like that. But that's really passe nowadays, But I should move on because then I'll be ranting about that till the cows come home because I can. And then backstage we see Jade and Bianca agree with Aldis. And at Cash at the Castle, it is going to be a triple threat match with them defending their titles against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, and Zoe and Shayna, the bridesmaids but never the bride when it comes to winning the championships together. This is the 2 times they already tried. If they don't do it this time, they should never ever even have a shot anymore. This is going to be their 3rd time. I don't know. Now, LA Knight, yeah, is in action with him. Who's that? That's Carmelo Hayes in a match that replaces the Angel Apollo Crews match. Thanks the heavens for that. And then Logan Paul. They say that he is not on SmackDown because he's playing in a Tetris tournament. I thought he was at home playing Tetris and didn't have no time for LA Knight. But he's actually in a Tetris tournament. It's like, what decade are we in? I get it. That's retro and people are into retro. And I like Tetris. I got the app on my damn phone. But it's like a Tetris tournament. You're the U.S. champion there, Logan Paul. You should show your ass at least once every other week. How many weeks now? A couple weeks now? And you haven't even been on SmackDown? Seems like it's been a long time. I know it hasn't been a long time, but it seems like it. And in a very competitive match between Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight, these guys really do, gel together. They really do put on a great match. Hayes, after he tries a roll up Knight with a handful of trunks. Well, LA Knight, smarter than that. And he's a step ahead of LA Knight, and he reverses it and rolls up Hayes and gets the 1, 2, 3. And then you see him talk to the mic or talking to the camera, and LA Knight he tells Logan Paul that if he doesn't want to come to SmackDown, well, he'll bring SmackDown to him. So maybe that we'll see some footage of LA Knight crashing the Tetris tournament. We'll see. And then we see backstage, we see Tiffany Stratton, the lovely Tiffany Stratton. She's kissing up to the queen, Nia Jax. She says her and the princess, she says her, and then refers to herself as the princess of the ring. Together they'll be unstoppable. And she started off by saying that she has the queen's back. I'm like, does she? Or is this just a way of her getting close to the queen? And then maybe she's going to try to dethrone her, We'll see. I don't know. We've seen those titles be put on the line like that. But I don't think they're doing that nowadays. They're not going to do that in this generation, this era of Triple H or Paul Levesque. Because it's now referred to as a very, very serious thing, as a very, very legit thing. They're not going to treat it like a title, like something that they wear. Oh, he's Queen of the Ring, King of the Ring. Who cares? What are they going to do with that win? Well, we know that they got their title shots, and that's a good thing. Title shots at SmackDown. And then we see Nia Jax and Michin get into it. And then Michin throws some a drink or something, a beverage in the face of Nia Jax, and then they end up getting into it. And we see Nia Jax push Michin back, and we see Nia Jax slip. Because I guess she slipped on the wet surface there because of the drink and everything like that. And then they get pulled apart. And then it's funny because even before that, she's like, "Why don't you, Nia tells Michin, like, why don't you take AJ's lead and how about you retire?" And she's like, "Oh, you keep what do I call it? Keep AJ's name out of your mouth." I mean, that's like it's like that. And then there was another incident too where that was said. I'm going, what are these guys doing? Channeling Will Smith? Remember that debacle at the Oscars? I had a coworker that said, "Hey, the Bad Boys movie's coming out," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck." She's like, "Really?" And I go, "Why would I care? Will Smith, he's tarnished his career. People want to forgive him. I don't, because it's like it's nonsense what happened. But it's kind of funny how, like I said, he said that to Chris Rock. Keep your keep my bleep bleep wife's name out of your bleep bleep mouth. Something like that. I mean, I could cuss. I don't know why I'm bleeping it, but I just don't want to talk about it because I honestly think that guy is through. He could still probably make movies, but he's not nowhere near. I don't think this movie's gonna even do half of what it did. I mean, the last one I liked. I don't know why people are hating on Bad Boys 3. I thought it was good. It was funny. Sometimes, some reason, some people out there they want to pick it apart. I don't know why. I thought it was good. Anyway, let's move on. Now Baylay, she's set for a in-ring promo. She's live and in living color. It's good to see. And then we see that Piper Niven, because she's talking, and then Piper comes in and find out that she gets a title shot in her home country, which is cool, of course. It's always good that then when that happens, and there's a question, she may or she may not win the title. Will she? But I say that things are leaning towards not. No way. And then Chelsea comes out with her. She's with her already, and then she calls Baylay a loser. Yet she lost to Baylay, and Baylay won in Saudi. And then Baylay does bring that up and tells Piper that she has respect for her. She has respect for Niven. It means everything to someone who competes in her home country, but Baylay, says that she's going to have fun beating Piper. But Piper, she's looking to beat the brakes off of Baylay. She talks about, Piper does, that she puts Scotland on the wrestling map. She's won world titles all over, and she was even a champion before she even set foot in WWE. And she is confident that Baylay will be looking up in the lights as she looks up at the new WWE Women's Champion. Would I like to see Piper as a champion one day? Sure, of course. She deserves it. She works hard. Another one of those people that I admire and looked up to, not looked up to, that's not the right word. Although I could definitely admire her work. But she's one of my favorites, one of the people that I really, really was into watching her in NXT UK, right up there with, Alba Fire, with Isla Dawn, with, Lyra Valkyria. She was known as Aoife Valkyrie. I don't like her name there, but it was kind of hard to pronounce if you look at her name she had before. Yeah, so maybe that's why they changed it. And I like her name now. It's pretty good. Fits her. But and then there's Ginny, who was the wife of Gunther. She was great. I mean, it's sad that she retired because she really had a lot more in her to do. She's only 35 when she retired, so she retired young. But for those of you who are not familiar with her, you guys would have definitely been impressed. She would have been right up there with Lyra Valkyria on the main roster if she wanted. I mean, even accompanying her husband Gunther, that would have been something. I mean, she's still young. Maybe she will come back one day. Who knows? We'll see. Now, Logan Paul, he's at home, and they have a camera on him, and Logan Paul has an announcement for LA Knight. And he talks about how he was looking for a real challenge. That's what Logan Paul said. And that was competing in a Tetris tournament. That's the challenge. He always talks about he's going to win it and then bring another championship home. Something that LA Knight lacks. No gold for him so far in his tenure in WWE. Hope he doesn't say in your career, because he's a former NWA champion. I believe he's a former Impact champion as Eli Drake. So He's won some gold, you know. And then he tells him to go back to the mid card because he isn't on his level. And then signs off by saying, everybody's saying Logan Paul. Yeah, doesn't have the same reign, does it? Nah. Now we have this six-man tag team match, six-man tag team action in the main event. And the KO comes out, and he's looking for a fight. And his tag team partner is the Street Profits with B-Fab. And she does look fabulous. Oh, man. When I saw her pop out there when she came out, I'm like, damn. She's really beautiful, man. And I'm telling you, really a good fit with the Profits. But then we see a little bit of side thing while the match is ready to go. Naomi and Chelsea, they're going to battle next week in Glasgow. Then Michin will go one-on-one with Her Highness Queen Nia Jax. And the Grayson Waller effect will have special guest DIY. But now let's go on to the main event and the Bloodline. Looking damn intense and impressive. I am definitely impressed. And this Bloodline, like them or not, are a great version of the group that represents the Anoa'i wrestling family. A lot of people don't like these guys. They think that they're just, pale comparison. Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga aren't real blood. Who gives a fuck about that? Because they have been raised up in this family. Haku is very, very well respected and loved and regarded by The Rock. The Rock, of course, we know is a family member of the Anoa'i family through a blood pact that his grandfather and the Anoa'i grandfather did. So, I got family members in my family, my relatives that aren't blood related. But I could give a damn about that because I've known them since I was a baby, since I was a kid. And as far as I'm concerned, they're family. Damn blood, who cares? It's all about who you love and who you bring into the family and who you care about. There's non-Filipinos in my family. I consider them cousins, This is how it is. I know it's like that with not only Filipino families, but I know Mexican families are like that. And other, ethnic groups that they accept people who are, even though they're not blood, even though they're not from their, ethnic background, they might as well be family, might as well be blood, And that's the thing that has to stop because it's like, who cares? In the sense, blood or not, they are a member of this family. This, what do you call it? Just deal with it. That's how it is. You're gonna tell them that they're not family? Anyway, continuing, I'm just in awe of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa as they dismantled their opponents. But once Tez got the tag to KO, the momentum was drastically switched over to their side. And we see a KO cannonball followed up by a swanton bomb, but it's for only a near fall. And you think the match is over after the KO stunner. Solo is saved by his bloodline. And then we see Montez Ford as KO and those guys are battling outside. He does that suicide flipping dive over not only over the ropes, but over the turnbuckle. And he takes those guys out. But then we see as Montez Ford gets up and he's celebrating, getting pumped up. We see Solo Sikoa introduce a steel chair into the mix and he takes out Montez Ford and that draws a DQ. And this match is over. And then while they're inside, they got Tez up on his feet. We got Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa holding Montez Ford. And then we see an exclamation point as Solo Sikoa makes that exclamation point with a spear, taking out Montez Ford. And for some reason, I think Angelo Dawkins is outside sleeping. I think they knocked his ass out, and he was nowhere to be seen after what they did to him. And then they destroy KO with triple bombing him through the announce desk, kind of like a homage to the Shield, or maybe they were sticking it to Roman Reigns because they did that, of course, with the spear by Solo. Solo did deliver a impressive spear. Not the best one I've ever seen, but for someone who hasn't really done that type of move, yeah, hats off to him. He did a good job. But anyway, that's my SmackDown, my thoughts and my rundown and review of it. I enjoyed it. So far, so good this week for Raw programming. I mean, Raw programming for WWE programming. Even for wrestling altogether, because I even like that AEW. Oh yeah, yes, folks. I actually liked AEW. Some things I didn't like. I could say right here. I could say without a doubt what it was, and that was Chris Jericho. 3 or 4 segments that went nowhere. That just annoyed the fuck out of you. There's somebody, I swear, and I'm so tired of people that do that shit. He's like going, well, he's doing what he's supposed to do. You're supposed to hate that. No. Stupid. We're not supposed to. He's a heel. Yes, we're supposed to hate him because he's a heel. But we're talking about legit hate because it's so annoying. That's not really saying much when you go, oh, well, he's the heel. You're supposed to hate his thing. No, we're not supposed to hate it for real. Do you not get it? That's what people are doing. They're hating it for real. It's so damn hokey and corny and over the top. It's like it would work with the right person doing it. Then you'll be like, I hate that thing, but it is good though. It's getting under people's skin. No one's saying that about this. And if those of you who are saying that, you're just kissing Jericho's ass because of his standing in the wrestling community. Yes, he is a legend. He's a GOAT. Hall of Famer. All that. That doesn't mean you kiss his ass and go, oh, what he's doing is great. It's not. And like I said, I don't give a fuck what you think. You're not going to convince me to like that. I don't have to like it. You put raw meat on a plate, don't force me to eat it. You better cook that motherfucker. And that's what I'm saying about that thing. It's not, they're not letting it cook. They're just put it out there and it's just there. Like, really? So annoying. Anyway, enough about that. This is an AEW. But like I said, that was actually good. So far so good. And then we have NXT Battleground on Sunday. So and I will be watching that, and I will be doing a review on that, and I will be talking about it because Jordan Grace, she's going to make her, I guess you can say her Battleground or NXT PLE debut. I mean, she already made her debut on NXT programming. She defeated Stevie Turner. Very good match. Very good match. Very competitive. Stevie Turner really is good. She's really great. But she wasn't going to win. She really wasn't. And I really liked that match. It's like I'll talk about that before I go. It's like Jordan Grace, hits the Vader bomb, which is really great. And she calls that Grace under pressure, and then delivers the Juggernaut driver to beat Stevie Turner. And then we see the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez confront Grace, who pushes her. She pushes Grace, but then the powerhouse pushes back and knocks the champ on her ass. And then we see her nearly putting Perez down when Perez jumps on her. But then she ends up being able to get out of there and slither out of the ring, and she slithers away with her title in her grasp. And what I'm saying is that will she be saying bye-bye to that championship after Battleground is all said and done? I'll be talking about the Battleground on Sunday, after Sunday. And I'm looking forward to it. Normally I don't do that. Normally I don't watch NXT. When I was watching that match with Jordan Grace and Stevie Turner, I could not stand listening to Booker T. Has anybody put his shucky ducky quack quack in a meme? Or is anybody demanding that high demand for that on a t-shirt? You know what I'm saying? Or on merchandise? Why is he talking like this? When he talks like this, hey brother, why does he talk like that? He reminds me of drill instructors. Because you know how they yell all the time. And I had a drill instructor whose voice was exactly like that. And there's others, you can hear other drill instructors that have that voice. Does Booker T always screaming? That's why his voice sounds like that. It's hard to listen to. And I just wish that they would replace him. I don't care. I don't mind Vic Joseph. I don't. But why is he still there, Booker T? Like I said, does he have something over WWE's head and that they can't get rid of him? I don't know. But anyway, that's my video. Let's end this. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I did lose a sub. And my question, even though that person's probably not watching anymore, is why did you leave? Why? Is it because I'm brutally honest now and you don't like it when I'm trashing AEW when they deserve it? I don't know why. It doesn't bother me, but I don't know why. You subbed in the first place and then you want to unsub? You shouldn't have subbed in the first place. Because you obviously like what I say, but then something, I give my honest opinion, oh, this guy sucks. Unsub. And go ahead. I don't give up. Flying you know what? It's your prerogative. It's your choice. It's your choice. Your choice, your decision. What am I going to do? I can't tell you not to. But, it's what it is. It is what it is, right? But anyway, like I said, again, thank you for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Like I said, and until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.